Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
You got to say it. You got to know it. And you better write it on down on a Wednesday. Tony Basilio welcoming you to another edition. Write it on down. Write it on down. As we welcome you to your Wednesday edition. Please, whatever you do, do not try this at home as we move right to left across your device. It's pretty next level to be with you today, day after our Tennessee baseball team showed some life, some juice, some pop. Brian, we were talking in our pre-production meeting, and Brian, make the point to the living listener that you said to me regarding this deal. Brino, about yesterday's baseball game, because you knew the good times were back over on Rocky Top with baseball, Brian, when we saw a couple things. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, they had a guy last night that I'd never heard of hit a grand slam.
Yep.
So
Cinco,
take that for what you will. That may be a good sign.
Yep. And shout out to
two grand slams in the same game. It's like Tony V never left.
Shout out to my man Jim Robinson. What's up, Jim? Shout out to you. Hey, by the way, Stephen L. Pearl in Auburn on the mic today against Mississippi State. For some reason in my mind, and I even wrote it in the blog, I keep wanting it to be Mississippi State against Oklahoma for some reason. But it's Auburn and Mississippi State. I keep wanting it to be Auburn and Oklahoma, but it's Auburn and Mississippi State. At any rate, maybe there's
an Auburn in Oklahoma like there's a Puerto Rico in Oklahoma.
Cinco, your thoughts, man? On fun to see these guys hit some baseballs yesterday, Cinco, for a change of pace.
Yeah, it's. I mean, sitting in the stands. Past couple weekends have not been all that exciting. You just see the frustration. I tend to think a couple things. One, these guys are obviously talented. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
I think I'm not here to say getting away may be good for these guys, but what I do think is this: that you got an opening of a new stadium.
Yep.
You got a coach that they really, really, really want to win for. I'm sure they all love Tony V the same way, but I think there's a natural reaction if you're a competitor to want to, boost up your new coach after what he means to them. So there's that. I think you have a lot of guys that we all just assumed the progression from freshman to sophomore would just be a no-brainer, and that's not been the case. The sophomore class, including Blaine Brown and Grimmer, who's a redshirt sophomore, they've had their they've had their struggles, but they're all very talented, and so I think you could say Levi Clark's. I mean, just he's been in quicksand.
Yep.
And no offense to any of them because they're all highly talented, but all it took was yesterday. Yesterday a little spark, like going out. I mean, I used to be a hack golfer. Now I'm worse, but because I haven't played. But that one shot that you hit flush, that puts you right by the pin. That's what keeps you coming back. You could have the other ones were crap. And you hit that one, and you go, well, okay, and you try to recreate that. So I'm sure these guys they exercised a couple demons last night, and I think they look going down to Georgia, and we'll see what happens. I don't have a read on this team. I do think the pitching's better overall than it's been for a while. I do think they have a lot of talent. The good thing about like what Brian was saying, Eisfelder and some of these other guys, Taylor Tracy, they're pushing. So if the sophomores aren't ready to go, there's someone behind them that might be. So I'm excited. And I made a comment on one of the chats earlier that for the first time in a while, I'm excited about seeing other matchups. I used to be a Tennessee only thing, but I'm gonna watch some other matchups here and there on the ESPN app. I'm kind of interested now that like the LeBron kid at Alabama. I like watching him play.
Yep.
There's some. I want to see if A&M turns it around.
How about LSU? LSU had to come from behind last night. I think Arkansas and Vandy had to come from behind last night. And LSU, I think, split a series with Stetson or lost 2 out of 3. Or no, they lost 2 out of 3 to Sac State. And then somebody split with Stetson. Was it, Bri, who was it? Was like Arkansas or somebody? Anyway, point is, Tennessee's not the only half in the SEC struggling, but it's going to be interesting when they go on the road with Georgia, and we'll have total team coverage. Shout out to my paisans. And I say ciao. And I say magnifico. Because when the paisans yesterday took on the bloated American team with Beano's captain of the Yankees, who's a progeny of, he looks just like Andre the Giant. And I'm talking about you, Aaron Judge. And then I'm talking about the choker, Bryce Harper, in the 8th inning, who gets an at-bat, tying run, and weakly pops out because he blows. And then I'm talking about Mark DeRosa, who's Berkey's boy, who was on MLB Network yesterday saying that they're already through to the next round when they're not through to the next round, Bri. I know it's a made-up event, and I know it is what it is, and I know there are a bunch of kids from America playing on the Italian team, but how about the college Ohtani last night, Brian Hartman, going deep? Do you have an opinion on that game, and did you watch any of it?
College Otani. What team does he play
Jack
for?
Caglione playing for Team Italy. Are you not watching the World Baseball Classic, Bry?
It is. It couldn't be further from my radar.
The greatest thing since sliced bread watching Team Italy beat USA last night. Absolutely next level. Do you guys?
I thought it was soccer.
Cinco, we're 5 days out from the GMAC/Brandon quarterback war to settle the score. Quarterback war to settle the score. In your humble opinion, who are you for in the quarterback battle, Cinco? Take a side. Everybody takes a side here. I go back to the days of Brandon Stewart and Peyton Manning. And I remember when there were people that literally were on Team Brandon Stewart, and they said the only reason, and it was after Jerry got hurt, which was terrible in '94, but the only reason that Manning was playing, they said, is because his father was Archie. Which, looking back through time, is highly comical. But there was a time, Cinco, was there not a large swath of our fan base that wanted to see Brandon Stewart over Manning?
Absolutely. And then the Ainge Schaefer deal split everybody 50-50. And absolutely. But to answer your question, Tony, when it comes to Tennessee, I don't care who plays. I just want them to be great. I don't take it personally with I want this guy, etc. I just want them both to compete and iron sharpen iron and diamond cut diamond and just excel. And whoever comes out on top, go get him. And whoever comes in 1B, be ready because you're just one play away, brother. And we will cheer for both of you. And the third kid, the kid from Colorado, if he happens to be it, so be it. I'll be right there full throated. Cheering him on.
That guy's a tomato can. Okay.
Either way.
So I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about him. He's Division I quarterback. He's much more athletic than I ever dreamed of being. Okay, so the quarterback war to settle the score. Watson has the inside track on this GMAC guy. He knows the McIntyres. Now he doesn't. But we're going to try to pry some information out of him. How much weight's he gained? What's he eating? What did he have for dinner last night? That sort of thing. This Derek Owings guy did a deal with Mike Keith. This Derek Owings guy is the truth now. We're going to look back on that Vanderbilt game and say that was a good thing for this program. We might already do that. This might be the thing that saves Josh Heupel from what was getting ready to happen to him. Because it forced him to look inside. It forced him to get serious about his football team and get that Banks guy off our campus where he can go down there with that unserious situation at Auburn and contribute to that. Because I was reading in The Athletic, and they had they were polling people around the league, like, assistant coaches and a couple coordinators, and nobody put their name on this, but The Athletic, they were asking what hire really surprised you, and people were like, I just can't believe Auburn made that hire. The head coach hire. Just can't. He had the most money in his league, and he didn't play in the championship game this year. They loaded his team up this year versus the level of competition. And I'm talking about a guy that a lot of you have a crush on. And look, it's not my nature to come hard at you, but a lot of you think that the Comrade hung the moon, and the Comrade, he ain't gonna last 4 years. He won't be there. He will not be there in 4 years. The Comrade. How's that for a hot take? I'm pretty fired up, folks, and prepared today. Sean Sinclair's in the house. We've got a quarterback battle unlike any other. Cinco, if that true freshman is better than GMAC, you think they would have the, shall we say, testicular fortitude to put him out there? Or you think this coach is going to err on the side of caution and go with experience?
No, I think so. I mean, we saw that. I mean, you can say what you want. They thought Milton was better, okay, but they, Hooker and stayed with him. So, yeah, I think so. Look, Heupel would have to be the least tuned in head coach on earth if he didn't know this was an important year for him. He absolutely has to know with the Nico thing, with the quarterback evaluation, et cetera, not making the playoff, which I don't blame him. It just is what it is. But he has to know that. I'm not saying he's on the clock. I'm not saying, but I think this is a moving year for him, as they say in golf, a moving day. And he's highly competitive. I'm led to believe. So I believe that he knows this. And I don't think he's playing games. The best player is going to play.
Fired up, focused, and prepared. Watson Brown's going to join. We're going to talk about that. Another thing I want to ask Watson about is these tournaments. How do you keep your team from going out there and going nuts when you play in these tournaments? Brian, my perfect world, the Vols have a short trip to Nashville. People don't want to hear that, but that's what I'm cheering for. Now, do I want to lose to Stephen L. Pearl tomorrow? No. Do I want to lose to Vanderbilt the next day? No. But what are you saying, Tony? I don't know what I'm saying. Because when they get on the floor, it's going to aggravate me if they lose. That's not right, is it, Bri? That's pretty hypocritical of me, isn't it, Bri? But that's what these tournaments do to us. I'm very conflicted about it. Am I alone? Am I alone in that? Or can I get an amen out there from somebody, including you, Bri?
It almost speaks to this calendar and the schedule, because teams that play 4 games in 4 days and have to play Sunday, then turn around and with the short travel got to be somewhere and play early on Thursday.
Yes.
Tend to be at a disadvantage, but it didn't bother Auburn that one year.
Screw Auburn. I'm not talking about Auburn. I'm not talking about Bruce Pearl. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about Nate Ament going out there at like 80%. I'm talking about a tired basketball team. I'm talking about a Jacoby Gillespie that needs a rest. I'm talking about a basketball team that needs some time off.
Well, one good thing is they did have 5 days off before they play tomorrow. So if they get to Saturday, they'll have at least another, hopefully, maybe 5 or 6 days off. And it wouldn't bother me if they at least won a couple games, because I want to at least go into next week with the good vibes of they've won in a tournament setting, because they've lost 3 or 4 coming in. And I don't want to make it 4 or 5.
By the way.
And so
another thing,
I want to see at least 2 wins, and if they get beat Saturday, so be it.
Cinco, what's your level of confidence in Kim Caldwell right now and what she's doing as a long-termer here? What's your confidence in her, Cinco?
I'd rather not.
Rather what?
I'd rather not say.
I want to ask Watson, if you're an AD, how you put wheels back on somebody like her. Because this is kind of unprecedented. Here's the problem. You're in a free-flowing transfer period type deal. And Russell Smith yesterday got on here celebrating his Smoky Mountain Brewery appearance. And he got on here and said, hey, look, the word on the street is this lady might lose her whole roster. And you're just like, okay, I mean, John and I were talking about it openly before he came on. There's at least 5 that won't be here, including arguably their best player. But how do you, in this era, and Danny White obviously wants to keep the wheels on her, and there are people encouraging Danny White to cut bait with her, including former players, but also current players on this team. That's happened. So, but obviously you hire somebody, you believe in them. You can't cut them loose after 2 years. I mean, you can't. Can you? Can you? I mean, it's just crazy. And then, Brian, Kentucky goes off today. They've got the largest payroll in the deal. Are they curtain jerking, Brian, this tournament, or am I imagining that? Are they the first game out of the chute?
They have to play in the morning on Wednesday, local time.
How did they do that? I just want to put my hands together, meet and greet Mitch Barnhart, who went after Matt Jones the other day, Kind of like Danny White went after me in that press conference for Tony Valls. And it didn't age well for Danny. That hasn't aged well, by the way. And the Mitch Barnhart thing about the three knuckleheads that are going after me online and listen, when you're in a state with a bunch of people struggling like Kentucky is, and they give you $1 million no-show job, which is what they've done. They've created a golden parachute for you. $1 million no-show job after you've run their basketball program literally into an iceberg. I mean, the last thing I'd be doing is taking shots at Matt Jones. I mean, last time I checked, he didn't do it. You did it. He didn't do it. At any rate, come back. Big Blue Nation has taken Nashville by storm. Watson Brown's on the scene. He'll give us a full report. He's presented by Simpson's Meats. It happens on the other side as we continue. Cinco's here on a Wednesday. We have got so much to talk about and 2 to play because I have to be somewhere in hour 3. So we only have 2 to play today. So be warned after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy-efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79 lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee Volunteer gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall. I love my man Watson Brown on a Wednesday with Watson. He's presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. And Watson Brown just kind of brings it to the table and does it and he's like, he's like the postman. It doesn't matter whether it's the rain, the sleet, the snow, the sun, the moon, the stars, the orange clovers, the blue diamonds. It doesn't matter because every time the man's on here, it's kind of like one of his former players told me. He said, Tony, I only listen when he's on. And I said, well, you got good taste. And Watson, that story I told you last week is true. He said it right to my face. And, when you're doing what we do, you got to kind of take it from people. You know what I mean, Watson? When somebody says something like that to you, you just kind of look at them and go, hey, thank you for listening.
Yeah, I've had to do that once or twice.
Yeah.
So they come up
People
to
are
me
really
and say,
ignorant. People will say anything to you. They're really ignorant. And, it kind of is what it is. As the great Watson Brown joining, he's not ignorant. In fact, he's a sportsman. Brian Hartman got on here, Watson, and told me a moment ago, I need you to prioritize something for me here, Watson, because you're a sportsman, and you like all the sports. You're with us 24/7, 365, around the clock here. Prioritize these in your sports watching world, Watson. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Champions League Soccer, the World Baseball Classic, the NCAA tournament in basketball, or these, I should put these conference tournaments. We're talking about this week. The conference tournaments in basketball, college baseball, or TPC Sawgrass. 5 things we have our eyes on here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, rank them for me in order that you would prioritize them in terms of your sports watching.
Well, top 2, I've got to go with Sawgrass first because being a golfer, and I think that is the hardest golf course. That's the one to me that you come out of there, you're wore out, your brain's fried. the heat on every shot that you get.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the toughest. I've never played it, but I've been told by many good players and friends that it's the toughest place. I've played Augusta, and Augusta's not near what that place is. Not near what that place is. So I put that one. I always got basketball right there at the top. So that would be 2.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you can throw them in a pile for me.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't been into the baseball classic. I guess I must have missed a good one last night.
Mm-hmm.
A good one in a bad way. I'm not a soccer guy. When I grew up, when I grew up with my kids playing soccer, that's probably the boringest couple of years that I ever had. But I do like soccer, but I wouldn't put it up there as high. So, and what was there was a 5th one.
Who cares? You know, at the end of the day, who cares? As
Basketball and golf are the 2 with me, and to me, the players should be a major.
Well,
there should be a 5th major. So that should be a major.
So this is an interesting thing. I was reading an article today, and I just, whatever. But it was about the formation of that golf course, how the PGA Tour at the time, Dean, who was the PGA commissioner in 1979, bought that land for $1 from down there in Jacksonville, and everybody laughed at him because it was swampland. It was full of gators. It was full of marsh. And they commissioned Pete Dye to build a golf course there. Pete Dye designed and built that golf course. Friend of mine, Mike Fidanza, who's like Michael Jordan of turf grass management, helps consult their course down there. I had a chance to go down there, Watson, and see that thing. And I'm a horrible player. I guarantee you, Watson, I would shoot 200 on that golf course.
I think that's the one course, Tony, that they can make as hard as they want.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
200.
They could make that the hardest course in the country, in my opinion.
All right,
you could even shorten those fairway. Take away the width of the fairway a little more. There's so much you could do. I saw last night watching something where they showed the rough and laid a ball down in it. My gracious alive. I would break a wrist at that stuff. There's no doubt in my mind. And those guys are strong enough to get it out of there. All the water that's all around that. And Pete Dye's genius on the way he does things around the greens and on the greens. I think that could be made into the hardest golf course in the country.
Pete Dye's an absolute genius. His book, Bury Me in a Pop Bunker's very next level. And by the way, so this is very interesting because last night the Italians, the Paisans, and I know you have a soft spot for the Paisans, Watson. I know you're so last night this is just sent to me by my man Chris Burke. He says he got this off somebody online. When my mom asks if I want to join in the family dinner tonight, I've got to explain how I got to watch a baseball game between the American Italians and the American Mexicans to determine if the American Americans get to keep playing baseball in the World Baseball Classic. So the coach yesterday, Watson, they beat Mexico the day before, went out and celebrated, stayed out late at night, so the story goes. Got down yesterday, the Italians 8-0, and then we started to realize that, you know what? We're not through to the next round yet. We've got to score some runs here at least so we can get through on run differential. If the right thing happens today, the manager went on Major League Baseball Network yesterday and said, yeah, we're already through to the next round. I mean, we kind of take this opponent seriously tonight because it's a game and it's competitive. He already thought they were through to the next round, Watson. They were down 8-0.
I mean, Tony, how in the Lord's name can that happen? I mean, you're playing in a world tournament that everybody does pay attention to and cares about, and you don't even know when you're going into the game if you're to the next round or not. Somebody even over him that's not just coaching the baseball team should keep them abreast of exactly where everything is. I mean, that is really hard for me to believe. That's a little bit like not long ago I'm on the 18th hole with my buddies, and we're playing a two-man scramble. Well, we get to the green and the match is tied, and so my opponents make a putt for the birdie. Well, I think that won the match. So I go up and just tap my ball. We're probably 12, 15 feet. I just kind of put my ball toward the hole, and my partner says, "What are you doing? We got to make this to tie." So they counted my putt, and my partner's still not speaking to me right now after that. So I pulled it, but it's a little more serious than what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're putting uniforms on and playing a game in Houston last night in front of 60,000 people.
I do not know how you do that.
And you don't know that. Okay, somebody asked a great question, so let's go around the room. Brian, since we've introduced the TBC at Sawgrass this week, and Brian likes the fifth major himself. I think it was Tim Fincham that came up with that. We're going to call this I know the commissioner back then did it, but the fifth major, Bri, concept. All right, Bri, let's stay with that from my man C, who's no doubt listening to us. What is par this year for the Tennessee football team, Bri? What would be a par season? The young quarterbacks against that schedule, Bri. What would you make par? Somebody asked a great question over here on the YouTube sphere.
Given the schedule, I would make par 8-4.
All right. Cinco, what is par for the football team this year, in your humble opinion?
I agree with Brian because par is not ceiling or floor. Par, you got to be pretty skilled to shoot par.
Yep.
Really skilled, probably like the coach and your son. But I say 8-4 because if you hit a dandy or two, you might get 9-3. If you duff a few like I do, you probably go 7-5 to 6-6. So I agree totally with Brian. 8-4.
Very interesting number. Watson, from your perspective, Tennessee draws a schedule this year that includes the likes of Texas and Texas A&M and Alabama and LSU, and Auburn comes in here with their comrade. What do you think, Watson? What's par this year if you were just to lay it out? Would it be 8-4, 7-5, 9-3? What is par this year, Watson?
I go 9-3 just because what's expected. I mean, in the coach's room, you're not thinking par of 8-4, and the fans dang sure are not. They're not. So I'm going to go one higher to where everybody might be okay with. People don't care. I've had all kind of issues going into seasons, but not going in. What happens during a season? Major injuries here, losing a quarterback, blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody cared. All it mattered, who you played at the end. They don't care. What was your record? What was your record? Did you beat the rivals? And so I'm going to go one higher than that. I'm going to go at 9-3. I think people would accept 9-3 and say solid year. I'm not sure people accept 8-4. They may have to learn to, because playing 9 games now is going to make it a little different. But I'm going one higher. I'm going 9-3.
I'll tell you
that
this,
would put you 6-3 in the SEC.
I'll tell you this right now. Josh Heupel gets that football team at 9-3 with those quarterbacks. He's coach of the year in my book. That's
nobody's going to be coach of the year in the SEC at 9-3. Not unless it's one that nobody thinks you can win, like a Vanderbilt or something like that. Not meaning that in a bad way toward my old school.
It is what it is.
Kentucky, Vanderbilt,
No, we got
Arkansas. But when you're at Tennessee, you're not going to win the coach of the year at 9-3. Not right now, where they are.
A beef brand built on quality, ladies and gentlemen. Simpson's Meats. They're raising and sourcing and raising it to the next level. Their meat from farms on pasture, literally on purpose, because they're continuing a tradition that began in 1888 on the great Jim Simpson's farm. You hear Jim on his spot here, and it's unbelievable, Andy. Whether it's steaks, burgers, sausages, roast, chicken, they've got a variety of local offerings at their butcher shop, like milk, honey, jams, eggs, and so much more. If you want to buy in bulk, they've got half and quarter cows available. And I've been known to have a cow on here from time to time. Do we still use that saying? I don't know. But check them out. at Simpson's Meats, online at simpsonsmeats.com. And the great Watson Brown on Wednesdays will tell you that it is magnifico, as was the Chow boys last night, getting it done against that bloated American roster who thought they were through. And they took my countrymen lightly. And you get what's coming to you when you take the Italians lightly. The great Watson Brown. All right, Watson, so it's conference tournament week. And one of the things I texted you that I wanted to talk to you about is approaching this as a coach. These guys are put in really tough spots here with these tournaments because when you're at Tennessee, this tournament's an irritant to you after the season they've had. First of all, you've got Nate Amenes beat up. And do I want to play him or do I not want to play him? But when I get on the floor, it's competitive. And I sure don't want to let Stephen Pearl, if it comes to that, be my ticket to the NCAA tournament because, you know, he's annoying and he's related and that's how he got his job. And, you know, it's all competitive. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to say, you know, I really just want to get down there. Let's pack light. But Watson, these kids are all competitive. It's why they're in the spot they're in. And these coaches are all competitive. And so if you go down there and you burn yourself out chasing a conference tournament championship that I'm not sure how many people care about it at this point, but when you get on the floor, it's hard not to care. They're really in a tough spot, aren't they, Watson?
Everybody is, though, Tony. I mean, and Big Ten's the same way. Big 12's the same way. I mean, that's just the way it is. And if you're going to have them, they're not going to go in there and lay an egg. Now, if they lay an egg, they're not going to they're going to find the good side of it and get out of there and say, okay, boys, we've got a little more time to rest. But that's what they're going to tell their team, and that's what the players will be putting their mindset and get ready for the tournament. But if you're winning and you want to win the next one and then the next one and then the next one, the only way that's ever going to change is to do away with these conference tournaments and find a different way to do conference championships. But no, coaches and players, they're going in there absolutely to win every daggum game they can win and be disappointed if they don't. I think the ones that sometimes are the hardest is when you go all the way to the championship and lose.
Yep.
Because the only thing that anybody remembers is who won it. Nobody remembers, well, they made a nice run and finished second. No, unless it's one of the bottom ones that put themselves in the tournament. That might be. But if it's two of the better teams and one loses, like South Carolina losing to Texas with women's basketball the other night, I mean, they don't remember who finished second. They just remember who finished first.
Well, and a couple guys in the chat have a good idea, Bri. Look, if you think, if you with this basketball team in the NCAA tournament, Bri, are they going to win more than 3 games? Probably not. So why not go win the SEC championship down in Nashville this year? Something you can hang your hat on. I mean, that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Why not get hot and go hang a banner, Bri?
Well, maybe that can propel you like it did Auburn in, I guess, 2019, speaking of.
Yeah.
And you can get on them or you can find something that works, and then your gauntlet in the NCAA tournament may not be as challenging as what it was in the SEC tournament. What you have to go through.
But Watson's right. Those teams that, especially with us playing a Sunday finale, so you play that Sunday game, and then 3 days later you're out on the court and you're on your way. And then what they'll do, Watson, is they'll make these teams play Thursday, Saturday after playing on a Sunday. There ought to be a rule that the SEC champion and runner-up are not allowed to play till Friday because they're one of the few leagues still playing in that Sunday time slot. There ought to be a rule against that, Watson.
There should be, but these other conferences are not going to let that happen, so you can forget about that. I mean, as competitive these conferences are, they would fight that with tooth and nails, I promise you.
What would you do if you're Rick Barnes when it comes to this Ament guy? Do you play him this week? Because, Watson, I don't think he's 100%. But at the same time, if they don't get him some work in this tournament, by the time the NCAA tourney begins, he will either be off 19 or 20 days, depending on whether they play Thursday or Friday. What would you do?
When I saw it was a high ankle sprain, and that's what it is, right? That's what I read.
Yes, and an ankle injury. But yeah,
that's a 6-week injury. That's not going away. He's not going to be healthy. They'll play him. You can play on it. I think it's harder to play basketball on it than it is football because of the quick cuts and the jumping that you do. And there's certain positions that can do it in football better, offensive linemen. There's certain things that can handle it better. But in basketball, I think it's really hard. So when I saw that, I said, I knew he wasn't playing against Vanderbilt, and I would be surprised if he even plays this week. If he does, I think we'll see a slowness in him because he can't push off of that ankle. So that was not good news to me. He will not finish this year healthy. I've had him go through whole seasons, 8, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, and never get back to where they were like they are naturally.
Bow thy head when you say thy name, the great Watson Brown joining. Yeah, plus he's got a knee injury as well. He tweaked his knee after getting folded up. What game was that,
the
Brian?
High ankle sprain is the one.
Yeah, the high ankle sprain's the one. Yeah, and that's lingered. To your point, that was an aggravation back in. That happened back in early December, and then it kind of sort of healed. To your point, and then it re-happened again because they never fully heal, which is what you're talking about.
Yes, that's it. They're never fully healed. And you can operate on them and get them back quicker, but they're still not one. They're not. You just can't get that back 100% that you take months off and not put the pressure on it. And it is one of the hardest things to come back and play on. And it looks like, because it swells a little early, but then the swelling's gone.
Yep.
And you look at it and you say, well, good gracious, there's nothing. But I don't exactly know what it is, but it just does not go away. And that's exactly, in my opinion, why there was a fall off in him late in the year. Everybody said he's tired, he's this, that. When I found out he had an early high ankle sprain and then redid the same high ankle sprain, that's what it is with him. It's not that he was tired or weak he needs to get bigger and stronger. But at the same time, man, when you're playing with that, especially basketball with the quick jumps and the quick moves and that would be really hard to do.
Bow thy head when you say thy name, the great Watson Brown. All right, so football practice is right around the corner. Yep. And this is an interesting situation for Tennessee because you have two young quarterbacks and one of them's got to play now. There are no courts to save you. There is no Joey Football walking back through that door. He gave us a nice year, and it was fun, and he had a good beat, and you can dance to it. And he'll always be remembered as the guy that saved Tennessee's season last year. But now, G-Mac is on the mic, and you know that family, and you know that young man. And here's what I hear, Watson. I hear Derek Owings is the new strength and conditioning coach. It comes from Indiana. And Tennessee made him the highest paid in the sport. I mean, they went after him and went hard. And look, to the victor goes the spoils. They won a national championship, a place nobody thought was possible. But he's brought a real edge to the deal already. And I understand that he's constantly meeting with McIntyre. Like, this is a constant thing. This isn't a, hey, son, this is what expected of you, and you're free to move about the cat. No. This is, I want you checking in with me constantly. We're going to weigh you constantly. We're going to reshape your body. I'm going to have my hands on you constantly. How do you think that young man, knowing that family and knowing them, how do you think he's responding to that, Watson, when I share all that with you?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, honestly, Tony, my strength coaches through the years did it with everybody. Every one of our players we sit down with the strength coaches and would say, once the season was over, what do we want this guy to be at weight-wise? How far do you think you can get him strength-wise? We had a bunch that needed to lose weight, and we'd bring them in. That strength coach did. The coaches would motivate the kids, but it would go through the strength coach. That's why I've said for years the strength coach is other than the head coach, the strength coach is the next most important person on your staff. And I don't even think it's close. It's not even close. because they completely control all 85 of your players. And so I think he would be excited. And if he's starting to gain some weight, that's exciting him. And I promise you, he's going at it. He's going at it full go. He's a competitive kid. I've got higher aspirations this year than a lot of people do. He's going to have been in this program through a spring, a fall, and a spring.
Yes.
He's not a freshman. He's not a freshman at all. That's a lot of experience right there. And he hasn't played on game day, but a lot of people haven't when they're first coming in. But he's not a true freshman. So I really think the Tennessee system is different, and once you get it, it is not overly complicated. It's complicated till you get it because it's different in some ways. But once you get it, it don't change much. So it's just game to game to game. Your basics are the same, and which I like, and I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to play better if he beats out the guy that's there. There's two really good quarterbacks. Tell me this: how many teams in the country would like to have those two guys as their quarterback? How many teams would like to have what Tennessee has? So I look at it through a little more of a rose-colored glasses. These are two outstanding football players, and let them fight it out and see who it's going to be. Should be McIntyre because he's had more time in the system. And I think he'll walk out the door and play a lot better than people think he will.
Cinco, are you there? Are you high on these two guys like Coach is? That we've got a pretty good problem here? Are you there, Coach?
Up to now, they're bringing everything to the table you could want. Again, you just don't know. I know. George threw a couple passes last year, but as I think Coach would agree, until you face live bullets, you don't really know what you have. But as far as what you could write down, both these guys have everything you could ever want. They were in each of their respective year. They were either number one or in the top 5 in the country. So I don't know how you want any better.
And Watson, you know how to mold these guys. You always had guys that could really play. And so from that perspective, how do you grow a quarterback in the spring? What would you do? What will they do, you think?
Oh, good gracious, a ton. Before spring is even bigger. You're in the weight room.
Okay.
You have ways that you bring them in, and you wear them out with tape. You wear them out with, okay, let's take this play right here, this pass play right here, and go through the whole season with this pass play and look at what was good into, what it's bad into. You have them sitting there, and they're telling you, okay, I see double safeties. I'm going to watch both safeties. Oh, they go to center field. That takes me to this side of the ball, blah, blah, blah. You're doing that over and over and over mentally. And then the fundamental work indoors in the winter of your feet and your quick throwing motion and the different drills that you do with these, that you have these kids do. It's so important. I always thought they gained more ground fundamentally in the winter than at any time, because you get the summer, you're more into scheme, you're getting ready to play people. Then you go into spring and you get the same fundamental work, and you go as far as you can take them, Tony, mentally. With these young ones, they may not go through the whole system this spring. They may get a half of the system this spring and then add more in the early summer, those first 2 weeks of summer. And then the summer now is so different. We didn't used to could keep them in the early days. Then all of a sudden we could keep them, but we couldn't do anything with them. Legally, you could not go on the field with them, talk with them about football. Not that always happened, but that was the rules. Now, the summers you can do, you're right back to the fundamental work again, right back in the tapes and the film room. And now they're out there with those players as they are in the winter. You read where Pavia said we were up at we'd get up at 5. We're working out at 6 every Monday through Friday, every day in the winter. Every quarterback and receiver. And he set it up, made them be there. So much can be done with these guys. Sean's exactly right. till you go out there and prove you can do it, you got to do it on a Saturday, and you got to do it against good players. But they've got guys that have proven it before they got here. So these two guys, you might not go back and handpick it any different if you're taking freshmen. So I'm kind of excited about it. I think major strides by McIntyre will be made from this winter. And I think he started getting the feeling, Tony, this winter he was going to be the guy. He had an opportunity to be the guy. And so I think he had a different mindset. He went to Florida with some of the receivers and worked out. I think he's trying to take over as a leader too. And how many times have you all heard me say this? I mean, I don't care who your captains are. I don't care how old your quarterback is. If he ain't one of your top leaders on your team, you're in deep trouble. And I think he's trying to become that with his personality and his way of going about doing things.
What is his personality, Watson? What kind of kid are we dealing with here?
I think he's kind of a shy kid and humble kid. The times that I've been around him, he's very humble. He's not a Pavia personality, not that style, but I think he can be a good leader. I think he has been a good leader. I thought he was a good leader watching him. I can tell by watching games. And he went through some times they weren't very good at Brentwood. They lost some games, and he handled that very well. He's not a blamer. He's hard on himself. I think he's going to be fine. I really do. He's from a coaching background. His uncle and his grandfather were major college football coaches, and so he's from a coaching background, and so I think he's going to be a good player.
You know what you're not going to get?
I worry a little bit about his getting hurt, but there are ways to take care of that.
Yeah.
You just don't put the ball in his hands, running it as much, and you work really hard on him getting rid of that ball. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Get it out of your hands. I can't tell you how many times I've blown a whistle in fundamentals and in pass scales when a quarterback held the ball past 2.5 seconds.
Do like Peyton and Eli.
You got to learn to get rid of the football.
And if you're about to get sacked, lay on the ground like those guys did.
And get down.
Get down.
And if you see an opening, take off. And when you take off, get down.
Yep.
Don't put yourself in spots. The number one thing I always said to a quarterback, Tony, number one, always play the next play.
That's right.
I didn't care what happened. I said, I don't care what happens to you.
That's right.
Play the next play. Play the next play mentally. Don't let a bad play or a good play change your mindset. And make sure you protect yourself where you can play the next play. That's what I meant by play the next play.
Hey, Cinco.
Over and over. I taught that to quarterbacks for 50 years.
Cinco, you know what I like about the concept of GMAC? Just the concept of him. Is that here's a kid whose grandfather's a legend. Here's a kid whose father, they come from a football family, so they know what they're doing. I know he's going to be a serious person playing quarterback, unlike some of the people we've seen that weren't serious people playing quarterback. I'm a big believer that Jerry Colquitt's right. Your quarterback, and Watson just said it himself, quarterbacks can't act like wide receivers. They have to be different. Your quarterback, and I think I already have that in the win column for him, Sean, because I believe that about him.
Well, you have to take a look at, pedigree doesn't guarantee success, but I've seen through my lifetime that players that came from something, like Walter Payton's sons, and you thought, well, I don't know if this guy. And then all of a sudden they're multi-year NFL guys. And you're like, wow, how about that? I do think it matters because I think when you grow up in the locker rooms, I think when you grow up in there, you just have a different perspective. Another thing is, a lot of people talk about nepotism, with some people, but it works the opposite too, because when you're George McIntyre and you have that legacy behind you, all eyes are on you. And people are wondering, did you just get this position because of your family? Mm-hmm. Did you just get this? The wide receivers and the offensive linemen, they don't care who you are. They want to know if you're going to make them better. And so he's had a whole lifetime of that. So I think he's going to be just fine.
And that stuff, Watson, I don't think people – I'm going back to Nico. The whole Nico thing, Nico had that whole team around him. That thing was never serious, Watson. It just was not serious. There was too much nonsense going on around. And it wasn't the kid's fault. It wasn't. But before he got here, he had a camera crew filming him. They were making a documentary about him. I mean, none of this nonsense is going on with GMAC, Watson. None of it.
Well, because when I speak, all the speeches I've ever made in my life, one of the main things I talk about is we're all victims of our environment. And what you're around as you grow up has so much to do with you. And some people don't get near the opportunity other people do in the environment they grow up in. And so they may have to do a little more to be able to work past that environment. But George's environment is a good thing because he learned what competitiveness was, and he learned what work ethic is, and he either wanted to do that or not, and it's obvious he's done that. So I just feel like the negative to that, sometimes you're put to a different standard that isn't fair, but that's all part of the job.
Yep.
It's, well, he comes from this, he ought to know this better than the rest, and this and that, and that's not all. But it was hard on my kids growing up because of who their daddy was, and they were both college athletes, and so it works the other way sometimes. But at the same time, he's coming from a great environment. And he's coming from a great high school competitive environment. That private school league in Tennessee, that top private school league, is really good football. It's really, really good football. So he's been challenged up to this point, and I would be shocked if he's not a good football player. And that goes back to what I said, Tony. You've got to be the top. Maybe not the top, but you've got to be right at the top as a leader on the team. I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior. If you are the quarterback, they're going to follow you because they know they can't win without this guy right here playing good. And if they don't see him doing all the work and all of that, putting in the time,
yep,
there's already a little gray area in everybody's mind. You've got to see your quarterback putting it in. And then when he does that, he has the right to get on everybody else. But if you don't put it in yourself, you have no right to get on anybody else because they're not going to listen to you. That's why I'm saying about him right now. I think he's trying to take that next step and put the work in and show that and be the leader of this team.
The great Watson Brown, you're bowing your head because, ladies and gentlemen, school is in session. And Professor Brown has spoken. Presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. On the way out, the world is waiting with bated breath. Watson, in your humble opinion, will the Italians defeat the Mexicans today and keep the United States from advancing in the World Baseball Classic that the entire world apparently is not watching, except for me?
I'm pulling for the Italians hard.
Me too. I want to see that. It'd be so funny.
I'm trying to get the USA off the deal here.
Yeah, let's
they're
go.
Going to catch it if they don't get in.
Let's go.
They are going to catch it if they don't get in.
Let's go.
I'm pulling hard for the Italians.
Berkey's boy, DeRosa didn't even know the rules, and he's managing the team. Berkey's boy.
That's so embarrassing.
Who do you like at TPC this week on the way out, Watson? And I love you.
I don't know how you ever pick one man to win a tournament, but you got to play consistent golf. You have to be able to control the golf ball, and I can't go against Scheffler in that way. He is still right now the one that doesn't get in trouble.
Nope.
And this is such a tight course. This is U.S. Open roughs. I mean. And so I'm whoever plays the most consistent, not who hits it the longest, but who plays the most consistent. And I just enjoy watching this. Man, isn't it fun to get to 17 and you're about trying to win the tournament? And you get to that hole. I promise you, that hole looks like a penny up there.
It's brutal. Could you imagine how many balls
my
a guy
hat's off to him. Earn your money, boys. Put it on the screen.
Watson, I love you. You're my man. You have a Dwight Goodone, and it was an absolute pleasure.
It's always an honor to me. Thanks, guys.
Presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. He's the best. And listen, he knows a G-Max, okay? Watson knows, and so we're going to have the inside track on the G-Max with Watson. And you're right, Ross Johnson, thank you for reminding me. Shout out to Andrew Fisher. I saw somebody in the stands last night. Andrew Fisher, Cinco, hit a long one for Italy the other day. His great-grandfather came over to this country. His grandfather is from Italy. His father goes back and forth, and they live up there in Ocean City, New Jersey, where I will vacation this summer. Cinco, in your humble opinion, and Andrew Fisher, there was somebody in the stands last night that had a Fisher Italy baseball jersey on, and I want one. So to anybody listening right now, if you come across a Fisher Italy jersey at, say, your local AmVets or Goodwill or one of those places, imagine that, Cinco. Andrew Fisher is a Paisan. Who knew? Did I know last year when he was on here with us? Breaking bread, Paisan. Did you know that Chris Burke, Cinco, is a Paisan? Did you know that?
Well, I only know it because you've said it back and forth to him. But yeah, I had a feeling Andrew Fisher was, because he had a lot of the same traits as you and Vitello on the air. So it wasn't a big leap to figure out that he had some Italiano in
No,
him.
I called Vitello, and I was like, Fisher was talking trash on South Carolina about how you're going to walk over there and destroy that. He goes, oh, no. I said, oh, yeah. But poor Maneri, that Paul Maneri, he is, you know what that guy is, that Maneri guy? Just as my Italians are taking the baseball world by storm. Because listen, to my friend Darren, there's two types of, because he gets mad when I play the Italian card on here. Listen, there's two types of people in this world, Darren. There's Italians and those that want to be. And then you got people like Brian Hartman, who I have to do business with on the other side, and then we'll get some calls in. But Brian Hartman wants to stay in Nashville for like 3 days. Let's burn our team out, Bri. Let's burn them to the core, Bri. I want to hear you defend that. But my friends at Simpson's Meats want to remind you they're online at simpsonsmeats.com. Always great gift boxes. Gift boxes are always available round the clock, 24/7 and 365. They'll ship premium meats for you anywhere in this earth. Simpsonsmeats.com. You can check out their store. They're in West Knoxville off Level Road. Go shout them out today and tell them you heard about it from Basilio. But Andrew Fisher, my Paisan, and DeRosa didn't even know the roles. Berkey, your boy, didn't even know the roles. I mean, if you're going to play in a tournament, like if you were going to be in a travel ball tournament, wouldn't you want to know if you were playing like 60-minute games, Tom Marine, or 90-minute games, Tom Marine, Chris Cole? Wouldn't we want to know that? I mean, the games are on national television. It's kind of like a worldwide thing. The Italians are all locked in. I mean, this is a big deal in Italy. Andrew Fisher is like an Italian hero right now. Take a brief time out. Come back with more. How about my boy Brian wanting us to play 3 games in that? Yeah, let's take a team that's already burnt to the nub, Bri. Let's burn them to the crisp, man. So we continue with more after this.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction.
Oh, hang on a second here. I got to do this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
What did I just do? What's going on here? All right, let's do this.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors
Thank you,
on
Alan,
Bristol
for
Highway
saving
in
me.
Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day, because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79, lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer, and let's make a deal.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
So excited, so blessed to be with you today. As the Sands are going through the hourglass, we've got precious time to spend together here. No overtime today, by the way. We are going to be on with you tomorrow. Some Garza Law Tennessee basketball overtime. Brian, we play at what time tomorrow? Tomorrow in the afternoon. What time is that?
I believe it's 3 o'clock.
So that's 3 Eastern. So to our friends, that's 4 Central. I always got to explain that to you. Because those of you in Central don't know you're in Central. I don't know. I don't know why I feel the need to get redundant, but I do. And all right, Bri, a couple things you said here. Bri, why do I want to burn my team out this weekend when you heard Watson say that these high ankle sprains don't heal, and this kid's been dragging this around. This kid, Nate Ament's been dragging that around since whenever. And he has been shooting off to the side, which makes sense because he's not cutting, running, and jumping doing that. John Adams said yesterday that he doesn't believe, his paper reported yesterday he hadn't been practicing. So I don't know that Tennessee has the appetite to play him. I don't know that they don't. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I didn't think we'd see him over the weekend. I did say that, speaking of the Vandy game, but again, you always have to qualify or couch things with, I'm not there. So how the heck do I know? And I'm not inside his body. And he could wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I want to play.
They did come out and say he was available, but available doesn't mean necessarily that he's going to play.
Barnes has been saying, if it was the last game of the year, he'd play. Basically what that means is he can walk. And if we were facing elimination, he'd be on the floor. But that's a far cry from, do I want to put him out there? Sean, do you want to put a guy with a ginger ankle out there in this thing, or would you keep your powder dry if you were the Vols, Sean? How would you play it if you were them?
I just don't think the SEC tournament is a big deal for this Tennessee team. I haven't seen anything to believe that we're going to win the tournament, barring any kind of crazy luck.
Yep.
So I would get it's that much time off before the NCAA tournament, maybe a little rusty, but I'd rather have him healthier than re-aggravate something and just limp around the tournament. I don't care about the SEC tournament. I'm a March Madness guy, NCAA tournament all the way.
Brian, you're not. Brian, you love this NCAA tournament, don't you? You watch every minute of it. Yeah, you watch every minute of it.
Yeah. A couple years ago, when you had Dalton Connect, they lost their first game against Mississippi State on a Friday afternoon.
That's right.
And I kind of thought, well, that team ended up going to the Elite Eight, but I think this team probably needs the confidence boost that team didn't really need as much.
Yes.
Coming in, because that team won the SEC regular season.
I gotta choose the way I'm gonna say this carefully about that team, but that team and folks associated with it, how do I put this? They didn't care about that game.
And it looked like that, too, when they
that is the nature of the tournament. It's kind of like spring training baseball. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and people get all all hot and bothered about and excited when guys are hitting the cover off the ball in spring training baseball. Do you understand what pitchers are doing, veteran pitchers, during spring training? They're trying out pitches. They're trying to get the timing down of pitching to live batters again in real games. The last thing on their mind is recording outs. Veteran pitchers. Teams like Tennessee that have already made the NCAA tournament. And so what is spring training for the veteran pitcher? I'm going to draw an analogy here. It is a way to play and not get injured. You know, this World Baseball Classic is an initiative by Major League Baseball to grow their game globally. It's sort of like what the NBA has done with their sport globally, and it's a good idea. The idea is you have a Team Italy out there full of American players with Italian descent. You have a Canadian team out there of, American kids basically from America that have a Canadian background or whatever. And if you have to fudge it, you fudge it, but you put these teams together. And then you've got these teams in Central America where you're already growing the game. And then these teams from the Far East where you've really grown the game. You grew the game in World War II back then. I've read so much great stuff about the barnstorming teams that went around the continent of Asia and just grew the game. Barnstorming. It's wonderful. Terrific. Baseball's trying to do that right now. But a nightmare happened last night. A very talented catcher who plays for the Italian team got injured hustling a double. And it looked like a hammy-type injury, like a soft tissue type thing. And that's just, that's the last thing that you want to happen. So these people, when I hear them talking about, well, so-and-so's having a breakout spring. Okay, but he's not playing against pitchers that are really trying to record outs. And at this tournament, some teams already know they're in and are packing light. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's the case. Now, Stephen L. Pearl's team, when they take the court today, they're going to play that thing like it's the seventh game of the World Series. And Mississippi State, Bry, Mississippi State is where, Bry? Are they on the radar at all? I don't even look at this stuff because I don't care.
They have to win the whole thing. Okay. They have no chance.
So they're out there playing
the NCAA without winning the
just
SEC
like
tournament.
LSU today, out there playing spoiler. And Kentucky, God knows what seed they're going to be. What seed's Kentucky going to be right now, Bry?
I think they're looking at a 7 in the 7-8 range.
Yeah. I mean, how much are they going to improve their status with a long run here? Although, what Kentucky has on is they've got peer pressure on them. Now, they finish outside the top 5, as we said yesterday. 3 of the last 5 years they've done that. In their history, they've only finished out of the top 5 in the SEC twice before the last 5 years. Congratulations, Mitch Barnhart. Enjoy your golden parachute. Sean, did you know Mitch at all when he was around here and we were kids? Did you get to know him at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he was an assistant to Doug Dickey, and I played basketball quite a bit with he and his younger brother Eric.
Cool. Okay.
In the Stokely thing, and as a person, I always, he always seemed to be nice enough. Maybe it's because we played basketball and all that. To me, I know other people have had mixed experiences with him, but he was always nice to me.
The great Mitch Barnhart went up there and said at his press conference on the way out before he waged war with Matt Jones, which is really a silly thing for him to do. Matt Jones, kind of like us here, carries a big stick. A lot of people listen to him. The power people listen to him, just like the money people listen to us. The money people listen to him. I saw where the A to Z sports people yesterday picked up our commentary and wrote an article about our commentary about Kim Caldwell, John Adams, and myself discussing that. One thing about Matt Jones, I'm not afraid to talk about things. Never have been, never will be, never going to change, will not change, do not care, am not here to be invited to your cocktail party. Love your show. There's somebody in here called G-Max Tapeworm, Bry, in our YouTube chat. Do you like that nickname, Bry? G-Max Tapeworm's now entered the chat. And G-Max Tapeworm said that Watson has me sheepy on G-Mac right now.
That's a fantastic name.
Did Watson?
I don't think they're new. I think they're someone who's just using different names.
Oh, really?
The same people. Yeah.
You don't think G-Max Tapeworm is a new user, Brian?
Person in there.
Really? You think it's just somebody playing games?
I think there's one or two people one person using all these different names and inventing stuff.
But Brian, how would you know? You don't look at the chat.
Well, that's just my speculation.
So Wildcat Wednesday, as Weston says, is tipping off. Yeah, I mean, Kentucky spends the most money in the league to be a curtain jerker. Literally, they are the opening match on the card, which if they were wrestling back in the day, Cinco, they would be like the Duke of Dorchester. Your boy.
Pete Doherty, baby.
Pete Doherty, the Duke of Dorchester. Or, in Southern lingo, they'd be one of the Mulkey brothers.
Jobbers.
Yes, jobbers to the stars. Dr. Z DDS said that Brian has just been exposed in all capital letters. He actually loves the chat, and he knows he's trying to figure out who G-Max Tapeworm really, really is. But G-Max Tapeworm says that Watson has him. You guys had 8-4 as par, right? For the upcoming season. It's time for the 5th major this week. We're not playing, over in Hawaii anymore. We're getting ready to hear Jim Nantz come on. Jim Nantz doesn't do basketball anymore, does he, Bryce? So he can't say.
A tradition unlike any other, and breathe on you, and use those tones to say.
All right, that's plenty.
Tradition like any other.
Where's Bino when you need him?
Could he be any more melodramatic, Brian? Could he be any more melodramatic? You guys had 8-4. I'm going to ask a living listener, what's par to you this year? Par. Par. What's par for the football team? I will say this about football and about introducing a new quarterback in football. Sean, if every year we're going to do it, now would be a really good time because it literally takes even these veteran teams a month to figure out who they are. If you're going to play at Texas, I would rather play them early in the season than late. All these teams that had all these players out of the portal, I would much rather play you early than late. And you get a good 5-week run at it. And so if you have a quarterback that's got a knack and he's young and he grows with you and you grow with him and it's exciting, I mean, this can be a lot of fun this fall. Now, if you got 2 duds and you get hammered, you're going to be holding on for dear life to go 6-6. But you're not going to know till you get there whether you've got good play. Like Sean said, I don't know whether you can play or not till I see you. I'm not going to do this thing anymore where I turn you into Michael Vick by the reports we get in camp. We are going to report what we hear, but I got to be honest with you, I'm going to take the things I hear with a grain of salt because I don't know till I see you against Georgia Tech in their building how you're going to handle that. Is that a fair thing to say, Sean, or no?
I think so.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. So against that backdrop, I say, if ever you're going to break in a new quarterback, this time of flux is a great time to do it. This time of the transfer portal is a great time to do it. I don't know if that's the schedule I'd want to do it against. I'd probably want to do it against the last couple of schedules we had. But who knows? Maybe this year we'll have some semblance of a defense. Because that what we did last year on defense, it's like when I asked Sean about your thoughts on the Kim Caldwell Lady Vol situation, and he went like this. And to my young broadcasters out there, don't be afraid of silence. Silence is your friend. Hello, silence, my old friend. Let's go to the phones. Sean, were you surprised that Watson said 9-3 is par? Par. Watson said 9-3, Sean, is par. Did that surprise you?
It really did. I don't know if he was taking. I don't know what his definition of par was. I mean, he certainly is a golfer, so he knows. But yeah, I thought 9-3. Yes,
9-3 is a birdie, Sean. I went out and said, "Hey, listen, if a guy goes 9-3, he's SEC coach." He goes, "No, he's not. You're not 9-3 at Tennessee. When you go 9-3 at Tennessee, and you're going to tell me you're coach of the year material." When you have,
I'd like to know what he would think what if Coach Brown was the Heupel this year, and everyone was telling him 9-3 with this team and that schedule. I wonder what his reaction would be.
He wouldn't like that. He wouldn't like that.
No,
but I do think it's interesting though. I think he thinks GMAC can really play. I was inclined to say 7-5 is par, 6-6 is a bogey. 8-4.
We're gonna have to get a lot better on the offensive line, quite frankly.
8-4 is a birdie. 9-3 is an eagle. 10-2 is a double eagle. 11-1 is a hole in one, and 12-0 is a 550-yard hole in one. I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking. 7-5 is a birdie. No, 7-5 would be par. But it's got to be 8-4 though, Bri. You're right. 8-4 has to be par.
8-4 is the minimum par for this program, no matter what.
Yeah, that's right.
That's par. That's the middle.
So to the living listener, where do you put it? Because it's all in the eye of the beholder. If this is golf, and I'm saying to Josh Heupel, okay, this a birdie. Our scoring. Maybe I need Byron to help me out here, a.k.a. the Czar, who, by the way, he is an awesome blogger on Thursdays. Byron is really good. I hope you read him on Thursdays. He's excellent. We've gotten great feedback on him. Now we've got Twib this week in Tennessee baseball with Tuesdays with Taylor on there, with Matt Diskin. Brian Hartman laying down the noise on our Lady Vol softball team. Clap your hands. ... Stomp your feet. Boom, 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 boom. Lady Vol softball. ... Can't be beat. Bump, 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 bump. They overcame Bry. Two.
4-run deficits at home, Brian.
This afternoon,
yep,
they had their game moved to 2:00 because of inclement weather in the Nashville area, but they're playing Lipscomb
in inclement weather. Yeah,
and they have a chance to set the record for the best start in school history with their 25th win. They'll break the 2007 team's 24-0 start.
And Cinco, you and I like them because they've got some gals that have some girth that are hammering baseballs right now.
Got some power in the lineup, Tony
Got
B.
Some power.
That's all I'm going to say.
You got it.
I'm not going to say anything about.
I like it. Hey, I like it.
Fans or anything like that.
I like it.
Power.
I want the power. I got the power. I like that. They went out and said, "Hey, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, we can go find some.
Smash Sisters.
Smash Sisters." Let's go to the phones. I got as many people as we're going to get in here as the day is long. It's pretty next level. Hello and welcome in on a day when Kentucky's getting ready to jerk the curtain down in the Music City. You're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Tony, it's Donnie.
Hey, welcome in, my brother.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
So I was just sitting here. You talking about the floor, ceiling, and what's par.
Yep. What's par this year for football for you?
I'm really not concerned with that. I just know there is one game that matters above them all on that schedule.
Right.
And if I've quit drinking whiskey, Tony, about 3 or 4 years, but if we lose this game, I will be busting out the emergency bottle of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
If we let Lane Kiffin come into Neyland Stadium and beat us again, I'll be ready to burn the whole thing down to the ground. I think a lot of All Nation, especially him being year one at a new program, a team that, would they win 5 or 6 games last year?
Fell in on Brian Kelly. Now, Brian Kelly's claiming that LSU is spending $40 million on their payroll this year, that they're the big spender. Now, is that sour grapes from Brian Kelly? Because he wasn't able to move the bar there? I don't know. But that's what he's claiming. Sean, do you buy that? You buy that LSU is a big spender out there? And it's not going to surprise me if LSU adds a couple of these blind transfers, Cinco, that they're talking about. This alleged 24 guys that'll be on the move after spring ball. It won't surprise me if Lane Kiffin's in the middle of that. Sink, what do you think?
Well, if they had to bring in a lot of guys at top dollar, then they had to. The rest of the roster is going to be going to ask for top dollar as well. But I don't know. I got a feeling that he's not going to have the same magic he had at Ole Miss. I think you might see a little bit of the Florida State, not the total drop off, but there may not be the synergy there with all these new guys that he had at Ole Miss.
Hey, Brian, be honest with me. I want you to shoot me straight here. When this caller, and he came hard, he talked about, the whiskey and what's intolerable to lose this year. What game did you think, Brian, he was talking about? I'm going to ask Sean the same thing because I like the way he introduced his call. He kind of got me hooked, like Catfish Ike does when he goes catfishing. Brian, what game did you think he was talking about in those terms?
I thought maybe Alabama or Auburn.
Cinco, what game did you think he was talking about?
I knew my man was locked in on Lane Kiffin and LSU just by his tone.
I thought it was Vanderbilt after what happened to us last year.
Well, if that happens again, someone's fired, period.
Well, see, I mean, that's the thing. When you're talking about, hey, this is intolerable and I won't live with it and I'll be drinking wine, I'll be drinking Intravino. It's like my man Jack here said, it's that's the funny thing about an SEC schedule, man, is that there's so many games that mean so many things to so many people on your schedule. W. Lynn would say, don't lose a Texas game because he wants to go back to the war between the states or whatever. Anything else for us from my caller?
No, it's pretty much. I just heard something on Cover 3 podcast. It's called Cover 3 podcast, and the guys on there were saying that Florida Lizards, it's on the table that they could go 10-2. And let me tell you something.
University of Florida?
Yeah, the Lizards down there. They're going to go
10-2. What were they huffing paint?
He's doing something. He's doing something, Tony.
I think they're in the Euro reserves of whiskey from back in the day, man.
Yeah,
10-2. Now, I do think the Summerall guy's a good hire, but it's going to take them a while to get that program up to snuff. 10-2.
Florida is like, so they are us like when we hired Pruitt.
Yep. They got rebuild, man.
They are so far down. You do not see a team that went forward. You don't go from worst to first in the SEC.
Yes.
You got to have a 6-6 year, 7-5. So them going 7-5 would be like hitting the lottery.
Yep.
Well, that's all I got for you.
You're the man. Thank you. So he didn't complete a par game, Bri. He has his eye on one game. It's Lane Kiffin. Kiffin triggers people, Sink. He doesn't trigger me. I got to give the guy a lot of credit, man. Very few people could do what Lane Kiffin did and go to Mississippi and win like that, Sean. Very few people.
Well, he's a lot like Bruce Pearl, and it's a lot of the same situation. We get Lane Kiffin leaves here.
Yep.
He goes up, he goes down. He's obviously the shiniest star.
Yep.
Last year, Bruce Pearl, if I'm not mistaken, he leaves here and takes Auburn, which is in basketball very similar to Ole Miss, I think. And didn't he take them to 2 Final Fours?
Yep.
That's crazy. So yeah, it stings a little bit.
It's wild. Brian, I give Kiffin a lot of credit. He's a hell of a coach. And he admitted here that he never should have left. So I've made peace with that because I've seen the text he sent to boosters. He tried to beg his way back in here a couple times when our job was open.
I don't hate Kiffin like a lot of people do because that's who I wanted when they hired Pruitt.
Yep.
So, but I wanted to say that the game that I would not tolerate losing to is that Auburn bunch with Golish coming up here and that mess. That's the game they have to win. Maybe above all others.
Did you say that mess? That's great.
He's right. Auburn's a total mess. Total mess. By the way, speaking of messes, this major college sports thing, I wrote a piece today in the blog. It's like right there at the top regarding what we're hearing in the agent space from how expensive it's going to be to put a roster together. You better have $9 million minimum if you want to compete in this deal. Now, just to give you a little, Tennessee, when they got Dalton Connect, paid him $400,000. Brian, how long ago was that, Dalton Connect? How many seasons ago?
Well, that was 2 years ago.
Dalton Connect right now, if he came out this spring and they were doing it all over again, would be $4.5 million basketball player. We talk in the blog today. You can go read it over at tclub.team, tonybasilio.com. Pick your poison. Thousands will. The top basketball players are going to make more money than the top quarterbacks in the deal. It has gotten exceedingly expensive, like ridiculously expensive at the top of college basketball. And there are some teams out there that are going to spend like drunken sailors, but most teams are going to stay around. If you want to have a legitimate, real program, what we're hearing is you got to spend $9 million, which is right around where Tennessee's going to spend. A little more than they spent this year. But Connect, you went from $400,000 in 2 years to he's a $4 million basketball player right now. So, this thing is that toothpaste, you see that tube over there? Good luck trying to get it back in there. They could have sat down with these kids. They could have sat down with them 20 years ago and said, here's your cut. Now we're paying coaches $8 to $10 million, and we have an additional $9 to $10 million for a basketball. We're paying women's teams $5 and $6 million. All this talk all this year about how we didn't have any money. Cinco, how much money were they shoving in their pockets all those years that they allegedly didn't have any money? It was going somewhere.
Truckloads.
Truckloads and truckloads. Like Alan at WeShipFloors.com. Buy the truckload. Amazing. So go ahead and check it out over at tclub.team. Tennessee's involved with the guy. Power 4 League. North of $4 million if you even want to talk to him. North of $4 million. Brian, how are the Cats and LSU coming? Because I'm not turning that on. I won't dignify that game.
11-10 Kentucky with under 15 to play in the first half.
It's unbelievable, Andy.
It's gone back and forth so far, but it's very early.
Unbelievable, Andy. Kentucky bunch has a quality team right there, struggling with that LSU bunch. Brian, what's the line in the? I think it's 7, right? Auburn today with Mississippi State 7.
Yeah, around 7.5, I think.
All right, Brian, talk to me. Who you like? Make you take a side here.
I'm going to take State with the points.
I agree with that. I was watching ESPN today, and they did a sponsored element for their betting partner, and the guy says, "Yeah, I'll take Auburn in the cover." I'm sitting there going, "Have you watched Auburn?"
I wouldn't. I can't lay that many points with a team that's lost. They've won one game in over a month.
My perfect scenario, and I'm not lying to. I'm trying not to lie to you. Okay, I'm not trying to make you mad, but I'm not trying to lie to you. Is Mississippi State wins today? Tennessee comes out, gets some cardio. Maybe Nate Ament plays for a little bit. Mississippi State wins a couple in a row. We get out of there. Can I say that? I shouldn't say that. Tony, you can't say. I don't know.
I just don't think the optics and the vibe around the program would be good if they did that. What you're suggesting?
Well, they did it a couple years ago with Mississippi State, Brian. They went through the Elite Eight.
Team, that was different. That team won the SEC regular season. They had won like 7 of 9 coming in. They didn't really need They didn't need what this team might need going into
Brian wants to hold that
part
trophy.
of the season where it's over.
Brian wants to hold that.
Lose.
He wants to hold that trophy, Cinco. You're right. G-Max Tapeworm was right. You want to grind them into the ground. Shout out to my friends at VIP Play. I'm playing Mississippi State +7 today. That's a lock all day long, all day strong, unless it doesn't happen. Then it's not. But if you bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Here's the thing about VIP Play. Everybody gets treated like a VIP, and here's the thing. There's so much stuff going on right now you to have a little fun with. You've got that World Baseball Classic, the Paisan. Aaron Nola today on the hill for the Paisans. Wonder if Bryce Harper. Wonder if what he'll do for Team USA. He was really clutch last night. What a joke. Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. You got it. They got it. I got it. You got it. We got it. The SEC tourney going on right now. Brian Hartman will not be denied over at VIP Play, where everybody, including Brian, including Bino. Bino gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over. Located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. As we go back to our busy phones and get our next call in. Hi, you're on the air.
How are my French compatriots doing
There
today?
he is, under wings.
Tony, it's great to see you Monday. You did a great job of interviewing Jacoby, and I like that guy even more now.
Well, he's a sweet kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is.
Nice kid, yep.
And I'm so proud of our Lady Vols. What we have is healthy women on the Lady Vols. Healthy ladies.
Healthy. I like it. A.W. Lynn.
They're not anorexic stick women. They're just healthy young ladies.
Well, they've done that on purpose. They went out and got some gals, like Cinco said, they can hit it out of the ballpark this year.
Yeah.
Right? Like those Oklahoma girls down through the years. You look at them. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to get in a fight with them. Shit.
But
you gotta be kidding me.
Who's
that caller that got his tail whipped by the Lady Vol?
That was a late great. God, why does that escape me? Come on, Bri, help me out.
That was Dee Brady against Vonda Ward, who played basketball.
And Vonda Ward punched down on him. She punched down on him through his T-tops down on the Cumberland Avenue Strip. I
remember that story.
Yep.
But this NFL, I'm sorry, this Nashville SEC basketball tournament.
Yes.
This is 20 years ago, Tony, Bruce Pearl's first year.
Yep.
Spring break happened.
Yep.
My angel Ellen comes home. We're messing around. 11 a.m. I turn on every radio in the house, up and downstairs, and she goes, "What is going on?" I hear her talking to a teacher friend, and she says, my husband's growing wool. He's going all sheep. He's got Tony Basilio, whoever this guy is, on every radio station in the house.
W. Lynn's got good taste.
And I was so sheepy 20 years ago. Me and my friends, we bought the whole ticket package for the tournament. Biggest mistake of my life.
It's so great. Yes.
We got beat in the first round.
Back then, you had to buy the whole package, kids, if you wanted to see the entire tournament, because they only showed you a select few games. Now, every game's on cable, W. Lynn. Can you imagine back then? One year, I got it. Temple was a #1 seed. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And Laura and I didn't have any money at the time. And I said, "Can I get this package?" She said, "Yeah, you're a good man."
Yeah.
So I got the package. Ty Shine goes out against Temple and goes for like 35 from Seton Hall and upsets them. And a 9 seed, Bri, beat a 1 seed on a Sunday afternoon. And I wasted my money on that stupid basketball package like W. Lynn did.
I've done the same thing in the past with the SEC tournaments. When they've had a bye and they didn't play till Friday, and then you get down there Thursday and watch games all day, and then your team finally plays and they get beat the first time.
It wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap, W. Lynn, was it, for that package?
No, it wasn't cheap. The greatest thing about it was that when we were walking down Broadway, there was just as much orange as there was blue in that city.
You're talking about the book of tickets for the tournament.
Yeah, I bought the whole book of tickets.
You are a sheep.
Bruce Pearl's first year.
What a sheep!
Book. Now, and when we lost that first game, I had so many Kentucky fans begging me for my ticket book, what was left of it. I did not sell it to them. One of Clarkie's old compatriots and friends, Jonas, took charge of our ticket book, and we got a little bit of money back, but we lost in the long run on that. Don't do that. Don't buy the whole book. That's what we did. And the best thing about it was there was as many Tennessee fans there as Kentucky, but I would recommend nobody do that, and I could care less what happens. I'm not really worried about it. I understand Brian's point about getting some momentum, but I'm not worried about it. So I hate to say that, but that's just where we are. If we lose and we're a 6 seed, I'm not that worried about that either. What about you guys?
W. Lynn, you're the man. Well, you know what I think. I love you. I appreciate you. I love your honesty. And look, if you're go and enjoy yourself. You go and enjoy. Watch those kids play college. Watch them compete. Because some of those teams go hard. Here's the thing. When they get in the games, they all go hard. Do I want to lose to Stephen Pearl tomorrow? No. Do I want to lose to Vandy twice in 1 week? No. That's why I'm cheering for Brian Hume today. I want Mississippi Mistake to make
Josh Hubbard's.
No doubt about it. All right? We got the Hubber over on VolQuest, and we got the Hubber at Mississippi State. And today I'm riding with the Hubber at Mississippi State because that guy, he can go off. He can go off today. And it can be a beautiful sight. We come back with more after this.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law, 5th quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols.
T to the B back with you, fired up, focused, and prepared. My man Cinco and I were just getting off in a discussion about music, which I absolutely love, and he loves, and I just don't know what the world would be without music. And sport, for that matter. Let's go back to the phone. Speaking of which, the playbook of William Patterson's on the way next. And he breaks it down scientifically as the Cats are leading LSU. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? Joshy boy.
Wingo, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's up, Tony?
What's up, buddy?
So,
great call by you yesterday. I thought Matt Diskin embarrassed himself, in my humble opinion.
Thank you. So, my first question is, do you think if he keeps struggling in the lineup, do you think they need to sit Levi Clark?
Cinco, what are we going to do with Levi Clark, in your humble opinion?
I think kids on this team, when you have this much potential talent, I think they got to earn it. I don't care what your draft status is. I don't care what you did before. I don't care how big of a recruiting coup it was for you.
Yep.
If you're gonna, and that kid looks like a sweetheart. I mean, I saw an interview with him the other day. He just looks like a prince of a kid. But if you're gonna stand in there and pop up every single ball to the infield, you got to sit, man. Let someone else do it. Work on it.
Yeah, I agree with that, Cinco.
It's got to be so hard, though, Cinco, to take a guy that's just a projected first-round pick next year. The problem with college baseball is that the samples are so small, and every at-bat matters so much. And if you don't do it, then you're not doing it.
Yeah, well, take a look at this. Take a look at this. You could, again, apples to oranges, yes. But Henry Ford has to play third base when he's a first baseman. And so they go so that what's his face so Clark could play first base. No offense to Clark. I'm sure he's a great player and will turn up to be. But then they send Bargo over to NC State, and Bargo is absolutely killing it over there.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Doesn't look like it. And Josh, hang right there. It doesn't, and you'll finish up on our overtime. It doesn't look like the best decision in the world to send Bargo packing. Taylor wrote a very interesting piece about that for his TWIB segment this week in Tennessee baseball. And so I just thought it's an interesting second guess letting Bargo go. But Bargo struggled himself last year. I don't know. William Patterson's on the way next. We love ya.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And Joshy Boy, ladies and gentlemen, is now on the power play because Joshy Boy, I did not plan on doing any overtime at all. But you're having a great phone call here, so I didn't want to step in the way of that. It's almost art what you're doing right now.
And I know this has been a popular question for the last few weeks. What do you think, Owen Brown, think? Do you think Elander should be in the dugout instead of on third base when we're on offense?
Cinco, when you're not hitting, everybody second guesses everything you do?
No, I don't think so. I think it's fine. I mean, he's been on third base for the run we've been up to now. What's the difference? I have direct vision from my seats into that dugout, and for the past 6 or 7 years, Tony Vitello didn't say one word that I could see to batters that were in slump. He just stayed up on that railing with those 3 tape stripes. So I get where you were reaching there, but I'd rather him running the offense from third base.
I don't think he's a good third base coach. I agree with Russell Smith yesterday.
I think he's a bit aggressive at times, but I mean, shoot it. Was he Was it just overbearing talent the past several years over there?
I don't know. Brian, do you think the guy's a good third base coach? The guy's like a human rundown.
Not really.
No. So let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Get
I
in the
agree.
damn dugout.
Yep.
He looks like Crash from down there at Vandy. 3 people do it. I'm going to ask the living listener. You want to be
Crash course?
You got Crash at Vandy with the Crash helmet on.
Yep.
And you got my man, the Paisan up in Kentucky, Nick Mingione.
Yep.
Mingione.
Tony, I agree with Brian what he was saying. That I think I want to go on a run in the SEC tournament to give our guys some momentum. I want to get to at least Saturday to play that Florida bunch again.
Of course you do.
What do you mean by that? Of course I do.
Well, you and Brian, you're two peas in a pod.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
burn your team out.
I don't think we'll get worn out.
And then complain next week when there's nothing left.
And I told you before I'd rather have a 5 seed over a 6 seed because I'm not scared to play one of those 1 seeds if we make the Sweet 16.
Well, that makes
unlike some of our fans.
That makes a lot of sense based on what I've seen in the last month. Good luck with that.
Bruins is never get to the Final Four. Wake up, Steve.
What in the world? Brian, is that you think that's a good stopping point for today's activity?
I would say yes.
Because the lovely Laura is literally going to kill me.
I thought you said you had to get off at 1.
Well, we've got somebody coming to look at. They're doing something here, and we've got a project. Something's happened here, and I got a project we have to tend to. Cinco, any final thoughts? You are just so next level.
Well, I appreciate it. I thought I was at best below average today.
I thought you were excellent today, but you're SEA and Sinclair. Go ahead, tell us about
all my brothers and sisters on the chat. I love you from the YouTube chat. I really do.
You're irritating.
I get on there regularly, even when I'm not on the show. And
you're irritating.
Hey, let's go surprise some people in the SEC tournament. Lady Vols, let's go ahead and keep this streak. And then how about the baseballs? Let's go down to Athens and kick some Bulldog ass for the weekend.
What happens, in your opinion, with the baseball team? Give me, because that Georgia team's off to a great start. We get 1 out of 3.
We're going 2-1. We're going 2-1.
Wow! Wow!
Get some of that.
Wow! Wow! Love you. Thank you, man.
See you.
Brian, your thoughts on Joshy Boy's call? All right, Briney Boy left us. Briney Boy's really locked into that tournament. And you got to love it. To know Briney Boy is to love Briney Boy. And at this time of the year, you're getting like, I don't know, half his attention. He loves these tournaments, which is great. Nashville Lee texted me yesterday. He said, I love this time of the year. And I meant to text him back. Here's my thing about passionate people that are passionate about this sort of thing. You can pull me in with your passion. I can get pulled in with somebody's passion. So continue, please share your passion with us. Iron sharpens iron. When I see you loving something, it makes me want to go, what is it about that this person, it's like being around somebody that loves art, What is it about that you love so much? And then you find yourself in the presence of one of the greats. And you go, oh, that's what it is. Oh, that's what it is. And the lights go on for you. But it's that spark, like from a Nashville Lee that loves the hoops. It's that spark, man. And I told Lee, like I told Taylor, keep sharing your passion with us, man.
Basilio show.
is coming up. Keep sharing your passion.
Tips are always appreciated.
Let that love light shine, brah.
TonyBasilio.com.
Let that
home of the Tony Basilio
Let that
show.
skull shine, brah. That's what they tell me. Let that skull shine.
You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrill.
You know, it's like being around somebody who loves art.
And moved.
Got some brown.
Past couple weekends have not been all that exciting. You just see the frustration. I tend to think a couple things. One, these guys are obviously talented. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
I think I'm not here to say getting away may be good for these guys, but what I do think is this: that you got an opening of a new stadium.
Yep.
You got a coach that they really, really, really want to win for. I'm sure they all love Tony V the same way, but I think there's a natural reaction if you're a competitor to want to, boost up your new coach after what he means to them. So there's that. I think you have a lot of guys that we all just assumed the progression from freshman to sophomore would just be a no-brainer, and that's not been the case. The sophomore class, including Blaine Brown and Grimmer, who's a redshirt sophomore, they've had their they've had their struggles, but they're all very talented, and so I think you could say Levi Clark's. I mean, he's been in quicksand.
Yep.
And no offense to any of them because they're all highly talented, but all it took was yesterday. Yesterday a little spark, like going out. I mean, I used to be a hack golfer. Now I'm worse, but because I haven't played. But that one shot that you hit flush, that puts you right by the pin. That's what keeps you coming back. You could have the other ones were crap. And you hit that one, and you go, well, okay, and you try to recreate that. So I'm sure these guys they exercised a couple demons last night, and I think they look going down to Georgia, and we'll see what happens. I don't have a read on this team. I do think the pitching's better overall than it's been for a while. I do think they have a lot of talent. The good thing about, like what Brian was saying, Eisfelder and some of these other guys, Taylor Tracy, they're pushing. So if the sophomores aren't ready to go, there's someone behind them that might be. So I'm excited. And I made a comment on one of the chats earlier that for the first time in a while, I'm excited about seeing other matchups. I used to be a Tennessee only thing, but I'm gonna watch some other matchups here and there on the ESPN app. I'm kind of interested now that, like, the LeBron kid at Alabama, I like watching him play.
Yep.
There's some. I want to see if A&M turns it around.
How about
So who knows?
LSU? LSU had to come from behind last night. I think
And
Arkansas
Vandy, yeah.
and Vandy had